Two Nigerian superstars, two global icons, millions of fans, sold-out arenas, luxury mansions, exotic cars, private jets, and enough money to change generations. But for years, one question has divided African music fans more than almost anything else. Who is actually richer? Is it Davido, the son of a billionaire businessman who transformed privilege into a global music empire? Or is it Wizkid, the street kid from Lagos who built his fortune from nothing and became one of Africa's most influential artists? Both men dominate Afrobeats. Both changed African music forever. Both live lives most people can only dream about. But behind the fame, the diamonds, and the sold-out stadiums lies a much bigger story. A story about ambition, power, business, and wealth. Because being famous and being rich are not always the same thing. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how Davido and Wizkid built their fortunes, how they spend their money, and which of these two African giants sits on the bigger financial throne. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more videos like this. So, there were simply two boys growing up in Lagos. But their stories could not have been more different. David Adedeji Adeleke, known to the world as Davido, was born into one of Nigeria's wealthiest families. His father, Adedeji Adeleke, built a business empire spanning power generation, real estate, education, and investments. From the outside, Davido's path looked easy. Many assumed success would simply be handed to him. But there was one problem. Davido didn't want to become a businessman. He wanted music. And at the time, that dream seemed almost impossible. His family wanted education. He wanted a microphone. While many people saw luxury, Davido saw expectations. The pressure to live up to a powerful family name. The pressure to prove he was more than just a rich man's son. Meanwhile, across Lagos, another future superstar was fighting a completely different battle. Ayodeji Ibrahim Balogun. The world would eventually know him as Wizkid. Unlike Davido, Wizkid grew up in a much more modest environment. No billionaire father, no family empire, no shortcut to success. Just a young boy obsessed with music. He sang in church, he performed wherever he could, and he spent years chasing a dream that seemed incredibly far away. While most people slept, Wizkid was studying music, learning, practicing, waiting for an opportunity. Neither boy knew it then, but one day, they would become the faces of an entire continent. The road to wealth began. For Davido, the breakthrough came like an explosion. Dami Duro. The song didn't just become popular, it became unavoidable. Suddenly, everyone knew his name. But this was the moment many wealthy children fail. Success had arrived. Now, he had to prove it wasn't luck. Davido doubled down. More music, more performances, more collaborations, more risks. While critics questioned him, he kept building. At the same time, Wizkid was creating a different type of rise. His breakthrough with Holler at Your Boy introduced a young star with extraordinary charisma. But his real strength wasn't just making hits, it was building longevity. Year after year, Wizkid evolved. His sound matured, his audience expanded, and eventually, he crossed a boundary few African artists had ever crossed: the international market. Then came a turning point that changed everything. One Dance, the global smash hit featuring Drake. Suddenly, Wizkid wasn't just an African superstar, he was a global superstar. Hundreds of millions of listeners, worldwide recognition, new opportunities, bigger stages, bigger checks, bigger influence. And from that moment, both men entered a completely different financial league. That's where things become interesting. Many fans think Davido and Wizkid make most of their money from streaming. Not even close. The real money comes from multiple streams: concerts, touring, brand endorsements, licensing, partnerships, investments, and ownership. Davido transformed himself into a commercial powerhouse. Over the years, major brands have paid enormous sums to associate with his image. Telecommunications companies, consumer brands, financial institutions, international partnerships, every endorsement deal added another layer to his empire. But perhaps Davido's greatest advantage is access. Growing up around business gave him a front-row seat to how wealth is created. Then there's Wizkid. His empire operates differently. Wizkid's biggest asset is global influence. His brand became synonymous with the international rise of Afrobeats. From Europe to America to Asia, his audience stretches across continents. That global reach dramatically increases his earning power. When major international brands look for African cultural influence, Wizkid often finds himself at the center of the conversation. His touring business alone generates enormous revenue, and because his appeal extends far beyond Africa, his opportunities often come from a much larger market. Imagine waking up in a multi-million-dollar mansion, walking past luxury vehicles worth more than most people's homes, flying across continents in private luxury. That is the reality both men live. But now we arrive at the question everyone has been waiting for. Who is richer? Most public estimates place both artists in the tens of millions of dollars. Davido is commonly estimated around the $40 to $60 million range. Wizkid is often estimated between $35 and $55 million. The exact numbers are impossible to verify publicly, but most estimates tend to give Davido a slight edge financially, so he's arguably richer because of endorsements, and partly because of access to opportunities that come from one of Africa's most powerful business families. However, wealth is not the entire story. If the conversation shifts to global music influence, international recognition, and cultural impact, many would argue Wizkid holds an advantage. His international collaborations helped introduce Afrobeats to millions of listeners worldwide. His influence extends far beyond album sales. So who wins? If we're talking estimated financial wealth, Davido appears to have a slight lead. If we're talking global influence and international cultural impact, Wizkid has an extremely strong case. Both men have already achieved something far bigger than being richer than each other. They changed history. One proved that privilege means nothing without hard work. The other proved that humble beginnings don't determine your future. Success is rarely built overnight. It is built through consistency, risk, and sacrifice. Because at the end of the day, the real story is that two boys from Lagos built empires powerful enough to inspire an entire continent. And that may be worth more than money itself.